Hello everyone. So there was a question on the community about embedding your board, your software board, your Agile board in Confluence. Now in Confluence, of course, you can embed a lot of things like a roadmap, for example. For example, if I try to create a new project, not a project, sorry, a new page, I have here the option to basically embed things. Let us name this as Jira reports. And if you want to embed something, by the way, I'm on cloud, so you have the option here, I believe, roadmap, Jira roadmap. So you can definitely embed your roadmap. What if you want to embed your board? So you also have the Agile wall board. This will work because it will give you the option. Let us look at the board here, and you have, of course, the option to basically publish it. So you will be able to see this straight away. And the moment you, of course, publish this, you should be able to see your board within Confluence. So let us wait for it. It's not really working as I wanted it to work. And this particular board will give you the view. It's basically the Agile wall board, which we can definitely embed on our Jira dashboard as well. And I think I should probably mention it. Also try the Agile wall board macro. So let me try to edit this, and maybe I'll try something else, maybe a different board. So let us select here SSPA. I know that I have this SSPA board, and I believe I should probably select here 15 minutes, save. Let us see if this works. Yeah, it comes. So great. So if I embed this and if I publish this, so this will of course display the board straight away on my Confluence. So this is of course one way of doing it using Agile wall board, but at the same time you can also just embed your Jira issues. So for example, if you're looking at your sprint, so we have this sprint called let us say SSPA sprint to whatever sprint. Now if you go to your active sprint board, you can of course take a look at your sprint, which is right now running. But if you select, let us say, one of the sprint, you have of course the option here to look at the board and interact with it. Now apart from using the Agile wall board, you can what you can also do is you can search for the sprint using JQL, and I think you should know how to do it. It will make your life a lot easier. So if you search for the sprint, you will get the sprint issues, and you can also filter further based on the status. Come on, status. I think I am not able to type today. So status is equal to, let us look at the board. I think we just have 3 columns. So maybe we can look at status. I think status should work, or maybe status category. Let us use status to keep things simple. And we can select here, maybe I think we have to do. Yeah, come on. To do, if you search for it, you should be able to get something. And if you copy this, and if you want, so what I was trying to say that you can also build your own board, kind of. Not exactly a board, but basically embed your Jira issues using a layout, a 3-column layout. For example, if I want to display my to-do items here, I can actually embed here my Jira issues. So simply copy the JQL and search for it, insert. So this is of course going to, it didn't really come in the column. That is strange. Control X, Control V. Yeah, I guess, yeah, it works. It works. Let us publish it before we proceed further. And I want to take a look at it. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, not really good, but it works. It works. So you have, of course, the option later on to configure and change the fields, I believe. Let us take a look at the other statuses. So I also want in progress. Do we have something? Yes, we do have something. Copy. Let us go back, and it will, of course. Why this is? Yeah, this is fine now. This is fine. Let us search for Jira again. And what you can also actually do is when you're trying to embed something here, you can actually remove some of the fields in case you think it is too much, which is, I believe, definitely too much. And yeah, we do have here. We can actually write here on top to do in not here, in progress, and we're actually trying to replicate the board. And the last thing that I will do is I will use done and search for it. So yes, we do have something here. Let us copy this, go back, and done. So we can definitely use Jira macro, search for it. I always recommend searching this so you know if this JQL is valid. And yes, we do have something here. And if you simply publish it, you're basically creating your own board using basically Jira issues directly. So I just thought I'll probably show you. But in case you want to use this particular macro, this will, of course, it will do the same thing. But I think using JQL you have a bit more control because you are working with the list of issues. So in case you wanted to do it, then you can look at this option. And if I go back to the question, I think this is what Laura was trying to achieve. And Confluence is something that I always ignore, although I try to make videos on Confluence. But I'll be honest with you, Confluence, to be honest, people don't really need help with Confluence because Confluence is a straightforward tool if I compare it with Jira. And that is a good thing. It's a good thing that people are able to use it. But of course, there are a few things where, people who have been doing things with Confluence. So I don't really massively work on Confluence. Of course, when I'm working with someone, my clients, of course, people use Confluence. And I also encourage them to use Confluence if they are using, of course, Jira. Because sometimes people have these tools and they don't use it. And sometimes, I mean, when I talk about these two tools, if you're using Confluence, then you also have the opportunity to link your Confluence data to your Jira issues. For example, if you're working on, let us say, requirements or any kind of, let us say, discussion that you are doing. So whenever this particular discussion, this requirement or any project knowledge base needs to be linked to a Jira epic, you can. And also, for example, if you look at your board, you normally have the option to, not normally, you have the option to also look at your view linked pages. So you can basically link it to your Confluence. So basically, for each and every sprint, you can actually create a page, I guess. So let us try this. If I click on the create, so when we have a sprint, you want to basically make sure that you also have like a place somewhere in your Confluence documentation where you are keeping track of your sprint retrospective or maybe your daily Scrum stand-up calls, or some information about it. Let us say, when you do your daily Scrum calls, maybe you can just create a page and make sure it is linked to a sprint. You don't have to do it, but I guess it will help you, and it will also keep things, it is more than creating a page, it's more about the linking. So let us say you have this sprint page. This page is linked to a sprint, right? And if I save it, let's go back and take a look and understand how it looks on your sprint. I hope it works. I mean, it should work. Let us click on it, view link, because we do have a link here. So you have to basically refresh your backlog or backlog view. So it says nothing here. Let us click on it. Sprint page. Come on. Yep. So now we have this link here, right? And if you're of course working on your Confluence page, this is where you can keep track of your discussions or whatever you're doing. And I think this traceability is definitely useful, and that is why if you have Confluence, I mean these are of course not very obvious things, but if you have Confluence, if you have Jira, then if you start using them together, then it will actually help you, because information, when you have a lot of information, and if you struggle to find your information, if you're maybe trying to get rid of some other tools that are probably used in your organization, with of course Confluence and Jira, then you can, but you just need to incorporate these practices. And my recommendation is always to not make your tool too restrictive. I mean, of course, Jira can be customized. You can always do a lot of wonderful things with Jira if you have to, but try to keep it simple wherever applicable. Don't expect tool to do your work. These tools are there to help you and assist you. So that is all. That is all I wanted to talk about today in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye bye.